Oracle, every game.
He's banned all the time, Shout even. People rate him very high.
All right, quick predictions here. Team with the most kills. And by the way, my mini-map works. I'm so happy. Team with the most kills at the end of the game. Well, if things go right, I imagine Na'Vi should be one to take the most kills in the game.
I'm on board, actually, even though I think EG outperformed them pretty hard in the first game. Yeah, I'll go Na'Vi.
Team with the most runes picked up by 10 minutes in. You got Viper, Sumail mid lane, Dendy,
I think Juggernaut and the Witch Doctor will roam around a lot for the runes compared to a Viper. I don't think he's going to go for runes that much.
Total number of towers killed before 25 minutes. Well, this is a pretty fast-paced game.
Well, we expect the entire game to be over around that time.
I know, so 6 to 10, 11 to 5?
I'll do 6 to 10, I think.
Fair enough. And finally, it looks like a player who gets the longest kill streak.
I'm going to go with the Immortal Huskar, actually. This is very Na'Vi-heavy predictions from me, but...
I'm going to go one with Fear.
Yeah.
Just because I got a fantasy card on him, you know.
All right.
You know, it works.
Got to be true to your cards.
Yeah. And it's a hard one because these are two very, very popular teams right now. Very hype matchup, and it looks like Na'Vi going to be favoring the bottom half here, but looking through their item, early item progression, doesn't look like any sort of.
Void might steal the top rune. They're gonna get both runes.
The battle
begins.
Could.
General thinking about sneaking in for it. Pops up, he grabs it.
Yep.
Both runes going to be going to Na'Vi at the start of game 2.
What a great start. I mean, it doesn't feel like a good or a big impact anymore because it's no experience, but as an offlaner, you get 100 gold, you're going to celebrate, you know? It's a party for General now. He's happy.
And it also looks like Artstyle had dewarded too on top of it. So it's going to be a nice little start for Na'Vi on this one. Artstyle also going to be moving up and ahead to scout out maybe the creep wave coming forward. Universe will be there, and EG, at least at the start of this, again, will be running kind of a dual offlane setup here. And PPD will just be kind of playing tag team in this mid lane, as it's more of a 2-on-2 now.
All right, then. Well, this is a lane where Viper Dazzle really trade quite effectively early on. And likewise, bottom lane, Delta Titan and Batrider are not that easy to go up against.
Uh-oh, they're making a move for Zai. Coconut, double bounce on Zai. Very unfortunate luck right there for him. He will be going down first blood to Dendy.
Oh, Universe!
Right. Wants it so bad, he will get it. But you're going to be handing over 2 kills to Dendy with it. Double kill for Dendy's Jug. That's a nice start.
They dealt with that lane so well. They kind of had to do that. Go high committing and just take the fights. If they sat back and just tried to trade hits, they were actually going to lose the lane really hard. So I love the way they played that. Going already on level 1.
Not good for EG. When you put this aggro offlane setup, you're hoping that kind of the opposite happens here in a 2v2 matchup here, where you're trying to pressure the Jug from really getting anything in and handing over 2 kills. So it's on them to kind of find their way back into this. Is Dendy going to be grabbing up an early stick? It doesn't feel like it's too necessary at the time. Well, Artstyle already has his. Actually, he goes in there and grabs one now.
Surprised Sumail hasn't skilled up the corrosive skin at all against the Huskar, who keeps burning spearing him.
Now, I haven't seen Sumail play Viper too much. I don't know how familiar he is with these kind of matchups.
Well, as a mid player, I'm sure he's played everything quite a lot, but it's just going to be really good for him. He'll get it on level 3, I'm sure.
Yep. We'll have to see how that matchup does progress. We know Viper not to be one to scale too far in the late game and is hoping to make his kind of impact sooner than later. Is it going to be a kind of a Viper game where you might need to consider going more utility-based, get that early mech, let's say? Or does he need to be more of a fighter kind of a build and focus more on...
I like the long-range build, the Dragonlance early. It's super good in laning stage. It's really good against Huskar, as you don't want to get too close to him. And that way you can slow him down, get that 40% slow on him, and not let him get close enough to jump you. I think Dragonlance into maybe even a farming Yasha build. Oh, Sumail.
Yeah, he's hitting a lot of nuke damage here, so Nico only with level 1 Purifying Flames. That's not going to be enough to burst him down. Could end up healing Sumail a little bit, but man, those burning spears do so much. Zai shows up, gets off the stomp.
Man, Zai has such good positioning in these games. Like previous game, he was dominating. Sure, he died once this game already as well, but he also just made a kill happen on a mid.
He had a haster just before that, and he was just flirting around the bottom lane where Na'Vi pinged out, so they must have figured he wasn't in the neighborhood any longer. But he used the back end of that speed boost to kind of put himself in a good position towards that mid lane. Help set up.
I feel quite bad for General in the top lane. This Void against Ursa lane is so terrible. Oh no, and he failed. You have to stay out of range for a long time so the Fury Swipes entirely get off you. Because if he refreshes it, all the previous stacks stay, and the cooldown is reset.
That is annoying.
It's very hard to lane against.
You see it in the CS game right now, how much it's crippled him in the one-on-one matchup. And Fear, King of CS, 20-0, while Void's still at 9-0 right now. So Fear going to make a good potential fight back here.
It's a near impossible lane, actually. Many melee heroes struggle against Ursa.
I mean, the nice thing for Faceless Void is he's not going to get bullied enough out of the XP range. But yeah, Batrider bottom lane. Then he goes in deep with a Blade Fury. Now the rotation comes out from Zai, and Na'Vi will have to pump the brakes a bit. Don't want to overcommit and get too greedy, where this Batrider could just kind of fly up and away.
It's a very even start so far, though. Despite the fact that Ursa is free farming quite a lot, the mid lane is very dead even.
Denny does have those 2 kills to match up against Fear's high CS game. But you are right, this game does feel like it's pretty close to an even playing field. And for both of these drafts, they're very critical to succeed in the early game. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but with Drows, with Huskars, keep popping up every game, that's how it is.
It's the way Dota is right now shaped, the way teams play it.
Okay, beautiful. Coconut bounces between TPD and Sumail multiple times, allows Na'Vi to creep into the high ground and try to get off the bursting damage. They will lose their Huskar just before taking down Sumail's Viper. Follow-up blow is going to be taking down the Sonico Oracle, and now they're looking for a bit of more here. Are they going to commit in deep for it? Zai looking to go for the stomp, actually forces Arcel back into them. Nice dodge. Good dodge. It looked like it could have been scary to walk back towards them, but he is able to avoid the stomp and
stay calm. Yep, didn't panic as they started going on.
Good heads-up play from Na'Vi, and now EG are going to pull up and ahead here.
In fact, the corrosive skin kind of saved them there, because 3 of them got stomped by the Elden Titan, but 2 of them had corrosive skin, so they immediately woke up again. Else they could maybe have been in a really bad spot against EG there.
Touchback with Fear here, still grinding away right now. How long should he be focused being here, grinding away before, you know, you make your early moves, whether that be towards, you know, some sort of kill setups or going for the Roche?
Phase Boost Blink.
Phase Boost Blink?
Yeah, I think when you have those 2 items, you can start doing whatever you want. As you threaten to kill anyone, and even if you don't go for all, they're gonna try and kill him though.
Yep, surprise Witch Doctor now. Fear, who had been doing his own thing for quite a while, now pops up the ultimate and thinks about going man mode here, but then there's gonna be the chrono play from General. PVD shows up, and he's got a grave waiting just in case, and that's Na'Vi going, oh no, we gotta get the hell out of here, but that's not gonna be happening. Even Universe Inside shows up to get in on the action. So 4-man rotation from EG this top lane as they take down the Witch Doctor, who tried to make his own ganking attempt.
It's a strange rotation though, coming in with a no maledict Witch Doctor trying to kill like that. You need to be very lucky with the bashes to get that kill. Especially as you know the Dazzle is gonna have a TP ready.
Now EG trickling down from that top lane. Zai shows up first, gets off a decent stomp.
Again, Corrosive Skin saving him though. Yep. Immediately wakes up. So, in fact, the Burning Spear onto the Viper is what keeps him safe.
Very interesting. It does obviously make things a bit tricky if Zai wanted to get any sort of potential setup near Sumail.
Hey, Sumail was right all along. Should not skill Corrosive Skin against this.
We'll have to make do with it, I guess, in the meantime here. As EG continue to kind of stride across the map. Looks like Fear will actually adventure elsewhere now. He heads towards the bottom lane, could grind up the rest of his farm here, and then be that much closer to the Roche pit if an opportunity does present itself.
Suppose he realizes the Juggernaut might be the bigger threat right now, just to make sure to shut down Dendi a little bit, since he has 2 kills as well to his name.
Yeah, it's a very different kind of a game for Dendi than what we're used to seeing from the classic mid-lane Na'Vi player. As he continues his own grind of farm, and it's actually Ditchy who takes the mid lane and is more involved in the action here. As him and Sonic are going to have to camp out behind this tower. EG make their slow approach, not just there, but also in the bottom. This is a moment for the Witch Doctor, I guess, the farmer from the top lane to muscle towards his level 6.
Yeah, he's doing that, and they're also getting a lot of pressure with Void just taking tower damage here. And neither team really wants to fight. They're kind of dodging each other. Can they go on Dendi?
They jump in, they get the lasso. Can they take him down before the Omni? He has a mango if necessary, but doesn't want to commit in for it. They will be able to bring him down. EG successful on that front, then they might try to go for a +1 on this tier 1 tower in the top, or in the bottom, because the top lane tier 1 already going down to Na'Vi.
They sort of traded Dendi for a tower right there though. But yeah. Now I think they need to make something happen on mid lane, like jump in actually.
PPD's close. Once the Viper Strike goes out, Sonico tries to help out Ditya, but they are going to be able to get the finish here, and it looks like it could be a twofer as they get the Sonico drop. Zion a killing spree, General looking for the response, moves in, gets the chrono, catches 2. They look to go for Sumail first, they will bring him down, and now they're going to be looking for Chase here on PPD, and Zai also nearby. Universe waiting though. Na'Vi.
There's DD rune as well. They can give that to Ursa and try to take Roche if they want to. There's no chrono now.
Dendi has his Omni. Thinks about moving in. But there's no chrono setup, obviously.
Dyer's
Yeah, I mean, EG just using their positional advantage. And now with Art Style coming in and Nico, numbers are starting to come in for Na'Vi. Universe makes his move, walks in. Fear's going to get up a couple of shots for Dendi here. They're waiting for Dendi to finish. Flame break back. Going for more. Dendi still running away. Universe with no more mana, no lasso to work with. Now they see Art Style very low on the low ground. All Fear trying to tag down Dendi. Will get him. That's 2 dropped on the side of Na'Vi. EG with the fight now. Stop center for General, and now Fear looks to move in and finish up the Faceless Void. Will be able to do so. Sumail with the double kill. EG claimed the lives of 3.
Na'Vi plays so aggressive there, even after committing their Chronosphere, and they didn't really have anything else to use. The Huskar was just respawning. He was actually low HP as well. It's just, or low level as well. I don't think they can take the fight like that. They just got surrounded by EG, and then you run along this cliff edge here. And if you fight against a Batrider along that cliff, he's just going to be able to go up and down whenever he wants to. I've talked to a lot of Batrider players. That's the dream, basically.
Now Na'Vi back. Dendi is not in fighting shape. He's going to have to heal up here. Eats a Viper Strike casually and will await the rest of his comrades to make their own approach towards the mid lane. Na'Vi trying to at least get a bit of an economy boost by bringing down this tier 1 in the mid.
One big thing though is that EG have nothing really on Universe so far. He's not getting close to Blink Dagger. He's been going for a lot of cheap items, and he does have 2-1-4 as his stats, but he doesn't have the money for a Blink at all.
Yeah, the biggest boost for EG in that last fight was just their own position advantage. Like, they had Universe in a spot where he didn't even need to have a Blink. He was covering the high ground well. Na'Vi looking to make a move. Mid lane, committed with a Coconut with the Death Ward and an Omni, and it's all going to be more than enough to bring down the Viper. Beautiful 2-man chrono comes down from General to catch both Universe and PPD. Universe gets the lasso, gets the pullback, gets the Grave from PPD to help keep him alive while Zai moves on forward. Is going to be enough to bring down General, and Na'Vi withdraw. They get the hell back. Going to be happy and committed to get the one-man takedown and possible tower, but Artstyle is going to get stomped up. Universe and Zai begin to tag team him a bit. Here comes Oracle from the high. Oh, he's on the high ground. He's stuck within the trees while Fear continues to move on forward. Can he get Dendi? He's moving for it. He'll get it done. This Ursa is becoming quite the machine now. As he wraps up and over, Zai also gets the grab on Oracle. Artstyle still also in the mix, will also be dropped. Zai gets a double.
Can we just take a moment to praise Zai for how great he is? As a skip. First game, he completely shut it down with it, and now again, 6-1-4 as a support Elder Titan. He's just been at the right place, right time, and he shows how strong this stomp is. You stomp one enemy support, and then you have 5 seconds to run up. It's forever.
Fear's like, thank you very much. I'll be there in just a second.
Yeah.
And then he just goes to work right now. And if you looked at Fear's items, you wouldn't even think he was that much of a beast. But the setup is there, his team's behind him, and he just goes to work.
Yeah. He also has the Blink Dagger coming out now in the courier, so he's got his farm now. And this is just gonna get harder for Na'Vi. And it's a little bit reminiscent of last game.
Now, Artstyle, he might have come to the wrong neighborhood here, but Dendi does move in, him in general. Looking to go to work, but they have no chrono, no real big setup on the side of Na'Vi. Universe says, I got set up for EG, grabs it to Rob, pulls him to the low ground. He's going to be forced to hop up and above and tries to break his way out, but he's not going to be able to do it. Meanwhile, huge stomp again from Zai. On the back end side, Na'Vi can get punched down. The Earth Splitter also there, so Nico has to save himself with the false promise, but Fear is not going to be able to get him. Actually, he will. Not going to be enough when he makes it back to the fountain. 4 go down from Na'Vi. It's like what, Waga? 3 back-to-back fights, all going for EG. This is becoming insurmountable.
They're just extremely outpositioned in every single fight. And one big thing that I think is game losing for them in this game, they don't have time dilation. The entire game, they're just team fighting, but he has opted not to skill time dilation. I think this is a massive mistake by Na'Vi. I'm not going to call it on the player individually, because I think if you're going to play like this, then you need time dilation. It's going to be so good against all of EG. 6 seconds extra cooldown, you would make the Shadow Wave have twice as long cooldown, for instance. Just gonna have a massive impact. Or Batrider sticking napalm, of course.
Is it too soon now to say that it's possible this Huskar could be pretty damn irrelevant? He's trying to man up on PPD.
Yeah, he's gonna get him.
He will get that kill.
Actually, Witch Doctor the cast definitely takes that money, so even that little money, Jinja doesn't get. No, he's definitely in Struggle Town because Viper hits him so hard from so far away, and then you have Ursa also just going in and man-loading him. And Weave is having a big impact. The Knight's armor.
Oh, Universe spotted General. His lasso comes off cooldown at the perfect moment for him to hog tie up the little faceless guy. And Fear will be able to kind of knock him down.
This game is really crumbling so quickly right now.
Full 720 right now, all for EG.
It's not looking great. 13 minutes and we've seen 27 kills.
Well, that's what you kind of expect with a Huskar versus Ursa kind of a game. We knew it was going to be pretty action-packed, but this one feeling a little one-sided at the moment. But Na'Vi do try to persevere.
Na'Vi has a lot of carry heroes, but the downside right now is that even the enemy Elder Titan is out-farming them. So the Void and the Huskar are 1,000 gold behind, in fact.
Udinja says, you want this bounty rune? Springs the trap and makes a jump for Sumail, but of all the people that come to the rune, the Viper may not be the easiest target, but he wants to commit on in for it. Diego helps him out with a false promise, and Fear makes a jump and wipes out that Oracle. Nick Ursa fighting on the back end line, this false promise barely alive, will end up going down. It's a 3-for-2 trade. General now surrounded between 3 EG members. The blue uniforms surround him, and he says, get the hell away! Drops the chrono and defensively purely just to save his own life, and it might still not be good enough. It looks like he's found the clear path and will be able to escape, but that's when you know things are not going so well if you have to pull out a chrono like that.
Fear's still thinking about it as he ran out of a reward. Everyone is kind of chasing this little Void.
He has TP on cooldown for 20 more seconds. They're pinging, they're chasing. Fear says, where do you think you're going, little boy?
Okay, you should be fine. You shouldn't be able to find a time-walking dude in the trees. Will be hard. But this game, EG feel like they can do whatever they want there. It's just, even with the Inner Vitality and Oracle combo, they don't have levels enough to really make it work. There's only one level in Inner Vitality. It didn't heal enough. Huskar instant died after the Oracle.
And obviously with the Oracle sporting nothing, he has to be really close for even getting off all of his spells, and which means Fear just jumps right into his lap and says, oh, I'm glad you got that false promise off. Your life is now ended. And I'm going to move on to the next target here. And
that's where you want that Etherland, so you can sit back really far away and not get jumped, but Ursa doesn't play that game. He will find you.
Yeah.
He has Face Boots, he has Blink, and you're an Oracle.
And Fear's kind of a guy who's been around the block. He's played every position in the books. He knows where the supports like to hide, and he knows where to find them. And on this Ursa, he shows it here.
More.
It's like, sees Ditch there.
Tower is under attack.
He has the Aegis, so this is going to be an initiation on the...
Think about cutting him off, but he's been spotted. Ditch can't get away from Zion's spirit. And Fear eventually isolates him, shoves him into a corner, and puts in the work. Already the Basher and nearly 1,100 gold to his name. This Ursa continues to get mightier and mightier at about 8k of net worth to his name. Sumail's the second. The highest net worth is still Dendi for Na'Vi, but as you can see, he's had to play the game very, very cautiously, very safe.
It is a little bit awkward seeing Dendi be the safe lane player and putting Ditka on the mids and the way they drafted here. I like it better when Dendi's playing any form of initiation hero than when he plays this Juggernaut kind of safe lane. Actually, like a safe lane character. It doesn't fit him at all, I don't think.
And whenever you watch a Na'Vi game, it always feels like it just works like in this typical choreographed pattern where, Dendi's usually that mid-game performer who peaks first and then ditches the follow-up.
Exactly.
But this time, it does feel quite the opposite here.
Yeah, I always envisioned the combo of General going in to initiate and then Dendi will be there for follow-up, but it plays out very differently.
Made the jump in. Fear is going to get hit with the Fate's Edict, so he can't get the right clicks off to shred through Dendi, but eventually that Fate's Edict, hi, one-hit bash, how you doing? And that Oracle is good as dead, godlike for Papa Fear.
This game is just in their pocket right now. I don't see how Na'Vi are going to be able to steal it away. They're trying to get farm on everyone, working towards a BKB, I can only assume, on DTRR right now. And if they get Manta Style and Diffusal on Juggernaut, his DPS is going to increase a lot. But right now, Fear is not letting them have any time.
Fancy leader there. Dendi takes in the entire Omni Slash and will now need the help from PPD. PPD steps in with a heal, and that's going to be enough. And enough space for Fear to blink it back and away. So he just takes the Omni, which is supposed to be probably one of Na'Vi's best DPS moves right now in the game.
At this moment, yeah.
And Fear just took it and was like, okay, thank you for that. I'll be going now.
Yeah, and that's just even more time that EG can play aggressive. That's why we see Universe going in. grabbing Ursa.
Look at the Witch Doctor go to the low ground. He is going to get the false promise. He's trying to run back and away, but now he gets stopped.
He does heal a lot, though.
He does heal a lot. Yeah, Voodoo Restoration really pairs very nice with false promise. I mean, you shouldn't see Witch Doctor hit with the false promise too often, but when it happens, he's got plenty of heal to stay alive.
He definitely does. Or anyone, if he can sort of hug them while they get false promised.
Yeah.
But normally he will get focused instead then.
I will have to applaud Navi. That is a nice little support pairing we don't see a lot of. I guess, I don't know, would you categorize them as two more defensive supports? I guess that's part of the reason we don't get to see him.
I mean, Oracle's ultra defensive. As for Witch Doctor, I think he's quite aggressive, in fact.
He could be pretty aggressive,
due to the cask and the gank potential he brings.
Really nice pairing that just benefits so much from the extra regen. And yeah, you're right. I mean, Witch Doctor typically pair with those teams that do like to 5-man.
And I'm actually happy seeing these games, by the way, because I have Elder Titan down as my prediction hero with the most win rates.
Oh yeah?
And EG are kind of demonstrating why. I saw Secret play it in a lot of games, and it just looked insanely strong on Puppey. And this is not very different. It has so big impact. 8, 1, and 9 as a support. That's the thing, it's a support.
And then you, as a captain, I imagine, begin that inner struggle, especially if you're not going to have first pick, let's say. It's, you know, when you let someone like Elder Titan through, you know, who do you ban then instead? So you ban the Elder Titan and then you risk splitting something like a Wisp through.
Well, this is where I think Shadow Demon is being a little bit overrated by a lot of the teams here. Yes, Shadow Demon is strong, but from the games that I've watched Shadow Demon getting played compared to Elder Titan, I actually think Elder Titan is much more scary.
Yeah.
Shadow Demon you can deal with, because he always has to get pretty close. But Elder Titan can stay so far away. Oh, General.
He gets to EG territory, trying to find his own bit of farm. Will get
God, it hurts.
spotted out by Fear. Universe helps out his buddy by setting it up with a beautiful lasso play. Meanwhile, back in mid lane, Arcel is going to be eating the Viper Strike, kited around, stomped down, and that Witch Doctor is as good as done. Ditcha tag teams in, trying to help out, but he ends up losing his own life as he's stuck between 3 EG members. Those are bad to worse for the boys in yellow.
And they keep the streak alive as well. No kill for Huskar. 3 heroes down. How do you really do anything against this? And he did go back for the Dragonlance instead of going straight BKB. I guess he can still disassemble as the Huskar. And BKB would be so far away anyway.
Very tough series for both Ditcha and General. What were they? 0 and 6 in the previous game. This game, General 1 and 5. Ditcha
That's
2
true.
and 7.
None of them had any kills in last game, and both really struggled. But this is also a little bit outside of the... I don't know. I'm not going to say outside of the comfort zone of Navi, but they're playing a different way.
I remember Red Eye was asking us out there, like, if there was one team you were expecting a totally different performance from, like, who would it be? And I don't think I would have expected Navi to be one of those teams that tries to change things up from what we're used to seeing by them, because they had a good thing going.
I'm just amazed they didn't go for the Beastmaster at all for General. In either of these games, it was available, but they opted to not go for it. Oh, we see the smoke around here. Might very well be a desperation.
Yeah,
smoke.
The YOLO smoke, if you will, coming out from Navi on this one, looking for a hopeful flank play. EG, though, should know no one's there. They're going to commit in the chrono, hoping to get the quick pick on Universe. Using that forward from Fear, makes the jump to the back line. Stuns it here, Raw first. Who ends up jumping in for PPD. Fear cleans up and finishes out that General backliner. As Rod tries to continue to go to work for PPD. It looks like he will be able to bring down the little Dazzle, but it's already been too much work here from the rest of EG here. Actually, Zai getting bullied back from General quite a bit. Looks like Sumel will be able to catch up. General desperate to make it away on the back of a TP, but that ain't happening. Zai has spotted him out and stops him down. Meanwhile, over, it's Fear up and around, ring around the Rosie a bit. Then he tries to juke, but Fear says, not gonna happen.
It's just sad to watch. He had no tricks up his sleeve anymore. He's like, yeah, I'm just dead, but what do you do?
Looks like General is gonna be fine here. And gets a little bit of assistance from Artstyle to safely make it out from trouble, but still a fight. EG come out on top of, not as one-sided as we've been seeing, but that's probably credit to Navi trying to go for the ambitious flank play there, but I don't think that was enough of a reward where they are in this game.
I think they're in such a position where they have to get a Chronosphere that hits multiple targets as well. It was a nice smoke around, they caught the Batrider, but they needed to like Omni Slash the Batrider and Chrono like the next 3 guys that come in to kill a support quickly. And it was very close to PPD getting the Grave off on Batrider first before he died. But he just went for the Weave, and then Batrider surprisingly died quicker than he expected.
And we got to see now what Navi could do, because just like game number 1,
I don't feel like their high ground is the best thing ever. You know, Faceless Void does have his Chrono for a hopeful setup, but I don't think there's nearly enough firepower behind it.
Well, luckily in this game, there's not that much siege from EG. It's more about the dive. I guess there is the Viper who can stand and hit your doorstep a little bit, but there's not that much that pushes up in terms of summons or
They
units.
do have the Bat Rider, yeah. I mean, he could creep in and get a quick kidnapping, and then with advantage in numbers, you eventually do kind of swarm in, but...
The second smoke, this time without art style, and they're going to go for that road down.
Alright, Na'Vi, are they going to be able to intercept here and stop EG from going for this Roche, which could lead to the eventual win? Na'Vi looks to go up and over and see if they can spot anyone out. They will see Universe. Universe spots them, steps back, they make the move, find the front door, they get the pullback, they jump in, the Huskar grabs up the agent. Can Na'Vi make this fight work? Fear already takes out the Oracle, goes for Arsenal next, he's got the Ghost Scepter there. Fear quickly gets rid of that Ghost Scepter and continues to slash. They tries to focus Fear. Fear says, don't even bother, slaps him down, gets rid of the Aegis, and now EG will swarm him. And with him being out on his own here, there's really no chance. A triple kill for Fear. This guy is beyond godlike Waga. He is 16-0-4, and I have a golden fantasy card that is going to be very happy.
Fear has played amazing in this entire series, and yeah, they got the Aegis, but that was just so he could die one more time in that team fight. 6-0. Absolutely not what you want to have happen at all. Na'Vi, I think they're already talking about, you know, the next games in the group stage. I think this is pretty much the point to give up.
Nail
keep trying though.
In the coffin here. EG getting ready to just put him down for good. And Fear says, I'm going to make this 17-0.
Yeah, he's racking up more and more advantage to point with your fans.
16.8, I'll take that. Thank you very much. But here they are making their siege attempt. Na'Vi, what is left in the tank for them to try to stop the roll of EG? They walk away with a win here, Waga. Both of them are going to be 1-1 for two different series of points each. They do get the snag on Dinja. That Huskar was there, but he is gone now. As a buyback, we'll decide to use here. Na'Vi's final hurrah here and now. Coconut's going to be flying out, so they'll pop the Hurricane Bike and will easily take care of the Witch Doctor as he gets that board out. Here's the Diggy Rob again to go toe-to-toe, but Fear steps in and says, I'm going to make it a one-sided match. Easily cleans up the Huskar, and that will be game. Na'Vi throwing the towel, and this series will get split 1-1. Oh no,
actually
2-1.
2-0. Goddamn.
I forgot, you're right. So, EG with this win will have 3 points coming out of the second game. Na'Vi, just the 1 point they got in the previous series.
Yeah, and that was just EG outplaying them a lot, I feel. Even though Na'Vi, they tried to go for some interesting drafts. They tried Huskar one game.